Hi there, Jen Burley of the Oregonian and Oregon Live, joined by Billy Gates, and we are entering week 8 of the Oregon high school football season. We're going to be talking about a Mount Hood Conference showdown between Clackamas and Oregon City. There are 4 teams in this league that are 4-1 right now, so it's going to be a really big battle for first place. What do you think the difference in this game might come down to, Billy?
Well, yeah, I mean, like what you said earlier, I mean, the Mount Hood's a mess at the top right now. I mean, Central Catholic, Centennial, Oregon City, Clackamas, all 4-1, 2 weeks left in the season. It's crazy in the Mount Hood right now, and who would have thought that anyway, especially Centennial. But anyway, I kind of feel like I say this every week, but it's going to be like which defense shows up to stop which potent offense. Both teams very good offensively. They kind of do it in different ways, but still, the end result is they put it in the end zone quite a bit, and wouldn't be surprised to see an old-fashioned Mount Hood Conference shootout.
Let's talk about those offenses real quickly. Taryn Bradford of Oregon City, wide receiver, he's making a lot of big plays, and his quarterback, Daquan Dennis Lee. What's Clackamas going to do to try to stop that dynamic duo?
I mean, maybe call up Central Catholic and ask them how they kept Taryn Bradford out of the end zone. Taryn Bradford went into last week's game leading 6A in touchdown receptions with 13. Didn't get in the end zone against Central Catholic in a 35-14 loss there to the Rams, who they've been charging hard, pun intended. But on the season, Bradford has 36 catches, 561 yards for 13 touchdowns. 13 touchdowns with 36 catches. That's a pretty high percentage to house call. Almost 2/3 of your receptions. So I mean that's a pretty good clip. And Dennis Lee, he's a 73 for 112, 1,328 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, and just 2 picks. The 2 picks he threw last week against Central Catholic. So maybe Coach Bushman over the Clackamas gets on the phone with Coach Pine and tries to figure that out. So.
On the other hand, Clackamas has a dynamic duo in the backfield between Nick Vaughn and Jake McGreevy. Any chance that Oregon City can try to slow him down on defense? I mean,
and that's really the question for Oregon City, I think, is how do you slow down Clackamas' running attack? I mean, they really like to run the ball. I mean, I did some math earlier, and Clackamas runs the ball 67% of the time, so about 2/3 run, 1/3 pass. Jake McGreevy's been their big workhorse the entire season. 160 carries, 1,074 yards. So he just went over the 1,000-yard marker against David Douglas in a 56-8 win. So congrats to Jacob. It's a pretty big milestone. And he's got 12 touchdowns. But against the Scots, Nick Vaughn went crazy. He went off. He's usually their number 2 running back, and well, I mean, he scored 4 times on 12 carries and had 161 yards rushing. Not bad for a backup, right? On the year, Nick Vaughn has 55 carries, 416 yards, and 7 touchdowns, which is great numbers for a backup. So, how do you stop those two from getting off? How do you stop them from, there's almost 20 rushing touchdowns between them. So, if you're Oregon City, maybe load up the box and try to make Mitch Wadieski throw the ball over the top of you. But then again, he has weapons there too. And the same goes for Clackamas trying to stop Oregon City, because Oregon City can run the ball as well. Let me turn my page here. Ethan Castlebaum has 87 carries for 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. He leads the Pioneers in yardage, but they also have another Dennis Lee athlete in the house. Zacchaeus Dennis Lee, everyone just calls him Z because apparently Zacchaeus too hard to say. 45 carries, 685 yards, so he's right there with Castlebaum, and he has 7 touchdowns. So, I mean, with both these teams, I mean, you got to try to pick your poison and figure out which facet of their offense do you want to try to defend the best, and it's not an easy thing. So that's why I kind of think we're going to see a score, and both teams are in the 30s or the 40s, which, hey, it's pretty fun football.
Maybe the team with the ball last wins. You never know. Or
who knows?
Get a defensive stop.
Yeah.
We know for sure, though, that there is a lot riding on this game.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it and see the outcome. Help determine the Mount Hood Conference champion.
Yeah, figure out that mess. Make the murky waters a little clearer.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.